Let's talk about delivery. As emphasized throughout this course, effective persuasion must always be tailored to the specific audience it addresses. Audiences are influenced by numerous factors beyond the verbal message prepared for them. Delivery plays a significant role in this dynamic, as it often introduces the potential for unintentional communication. In oral communication, the spoken words are only one component of the overall message being conveyed. Other elements such as tone of voice, eye contact, facial expression, and body language also transmit meaning to the audience. When these non-verbal cues align with the verbal content, they enhance rhetorical communication and minimize unintended messages. However, if they are inconsistent or contradictory, unintentional communication is far more likely to occur. In this module, we'll discuss how you master delivery as a tool for building trust, inspiring action, and connecting with your audience on a deeper level. You'll learn how to adapt your tone, your gestures, and your eye contact to align with your audience's expectations and identity. You'll also learn how to use vocal dynamics to create energy, urgency, and intimacy. And we'll understand the role of cultural norms in shaping delivery and audience perception. Lastly, we'll leverage social identity to enhance charisma and credibility. Delivery is not just a performance, it's an act of representation. Audiences are drawn to speakers who reflect their values, their beliefs, and their aspirations. This connection is rooted in social identity, which tells us that people gravitate towards leaders who embody their shared group identity. When a speaker seems to represent who we are, they appear more charismatic, more credible, and more trustworthy. Charisma then is often seen as a natural gift, but it's more accurately a reflection of social identity. A charismatic speaker is one who embodies the values and ideals of their audience. They seem like a leader not because they are extraordinary individuals, but because they represent the aspirations of the group. For example, Martin Luther King Jr.'s delivery in I Have a Dream transcends eloquence. His cadence, his tone, and his gestures reflect the shared struggles and hopes of the civil rights movement, making him a powerful symbol of unity and progress. To enhance your delivery, think about how your audience sees themselves and how you can align your presence with that identity. When they see you as one of us, your words will carry greater weight. To unlock the power of delivery, focus on these key elements, each of which enhances your ability to connect through your identity. The first is vocal dynamics, or the sound of connection. Your voice is the most powerful tool you have. It communicates not just information, but emotion, urgency, and sincerity. Mastering vocal dynamics involves being clear to vary your pitch, to vary your volume and your pace, to emphasize points, and to reflect the energy and tone of your audience. So, for example, when speaking to a Western audience, the speaker might use a dynamic range of volume and pitch to energize the room. In contrast, an Eastern audience might respond more positively to a measured and deliberate tone, reflecting cultural values of thoughtfulness and respect. Here's a practical tip. Practice emphasizing key phrases with rising pitch to build excitement, or softening your voice to draw listeners in for a more intimate moment. Third, think about your gestures and posture, speaking without words essentially. Gestures and postures aren't just physical movements, they're expressions of alignment with your audience. Open gestures convey honesty, while purposeful movements emphasize your key points. Posture communicates confidence, signaling that you are grounded and in control. Here's another practical tip. Use open hand gestures to convey inclusivity and avoid overtly animated movements that may distract from your message. We should also think about our eye contact and building trust through connection. Eye contact bridges the gap between the speaker and the audience, creating a sense of intimacy and trust. For Western audiences, direct eye contact is often seen as a sign of confidence and honesty. In some Eastern contexts, intermittent eye contact, combined with respectful downward glances, may be more culturally appropriate. Here's another practical tip. In virtual presentations, focus on looking directly into the camera to simulate eye contact. For in-person settings, shift your gaze naturally across the room to engage the entire audience. A further practical tip is to think about one phrase or one idea or one sentence per person. So as you look around the room, deliver one complete thought or idea to each person. Then once you've delivered that complete thought or idea, move to the next person. We'll see how this works both from a script perspective and a delivery perspective using what I call the Dr. Seuss method, which we'll see in our next workshop. We also need to adapt to cultural expectations. Delivery is not a one-size-fits-all. Cultural norms shape how audiences interpret tone, how they interpret gestures and presence. To connect effectively, align your delivery with the expectations of your audience. In the US, for example, an expressive and conversational tone may build rapport, while in Japan, a calm and deliberate style might convey respect and authority. So think about your communication style when addressing different groups. What changes and why? So in developing good delivery, the first and most important step is cultivating the right attitude toward communication with your audience. As a speaker, your role is to serve as a channel through which ideas are conveyed to stimulate thought in the minds of your listeners. It is essential to maintain a focus on your audience rather than on yourself. Once this mindset is established, then the next step is to deliver your speech in a setting where a skilled observer can provide constructive feedback. These steps must be undertaken in this kind of order. Even an experienced observer cannot pinpoint the precise cause of poor delivery habits unless you already have developed the proper attitude toward audience engagement. Without this foundation, the observer's feedback may not lead to meaningful improvement. However, with the right attitude in place, most delivery issues will be reduced to addressing distracting habits or mannerisms. This is where trained observers' guidance becomes most valuable. As James McCroskey, the communication researcher, wisely notes, practice makes permanent, not perfect. Some speakers rehearse their speeches in front of mirrors or in isolation. While this method is often recommended, it can sometimes be counterproductive. Speaking to a mirror or an empty room does not replicate the dynamic experience of addressing a real audience. Practicing in isolation often shifts the focus to performance rather than to genuine communication. Speakers may become preoccupied with how they look or sound during practice, which distracts from the audience-centered approach that we need and that's essential to effective delivery. That said, however, rehearsing your speech several times before presenting to your audience is important, though not for the purpose of perfecting delivery. Instead, this preparation should reinforce your understanding of the speech's key ideas and explore different ways of expressing them. This kind of practice is valuable because it helps embed the ideas in your mind, ensuring they are clear and confidently conveyed. Delivery is ultimately a habit, and like any habit, it can be good or bad. Which habit you develop depends on your attitude towards your audience and your commitment to improving any distractive elements in your delivery. Taking responsibility for your growth as a speaker is essential to building strong habits. By maintaining a focus on your audience and proactively addressing areas for improvement, you'll create a foundation for effective and engaging delivery. So delivery isn't just about how you speak. It's about how you connect. It's the art of turning a message into a shared experience where your words, your tone, and your presence converge to inspire action. So delivery is the final step where preparation becomes impact. It's where words become connection and ideas become inspiration. But effective delivery isn't just about technique. It's about understanding your audience's identity and reflecting it back to them. So as you begin this module, ask yourself, how can I align my delivery with my audience's shared values and goals? What steps will I take to refine my vocal dynamics, gestures, and presence? And how will I ensure that my delivery resonates across cultural boundaries? Because persuasion isn't just about being heard, it's about being felt. When your delivery reflects the identity and aspirations of your audience, you don't just speak, you lead.